After 2 days, entitled sisters scribbled on my walls, trashed my garden, and attacked my dog, so I kicked them out. My younger sister, her husband, and 2 children, 3F and 5M, were staying with my husband and myself for a week. For context, we live in different states. My kids are young adults and out of the house. My sister is younger than me and still starting a family. Despite our age difference, we've always been close. Sister is a gentle parent. I didn't know about that before she came to stay with us because my kids are grown. She stated that gentle parenting involves talking about feelings rather than time out or grounding. That seemed unusual because it seemed like there was no discipline but didn't say to not disrupt. Until I witnessed gentle parenting and was appalled. Her daughter crayoned my walls for the first 2 days. Her son threw a rock at my driveway parked car and pulled out flowers I recently placed in my garden bed. In addition, they kept tugging my golden retriever's hair and punching him in the face. Sweet and older, my dog is peaceful. She never bit, attempted to bite, or frightened the youngsters. In every case, I expected my sister or her husband to discipline the kids. They never did. So I did. I tried. Just instructing her kids to stop or scolding them made my sister go crazy. She said it's not my job to reprimand them. I told her someone needs to, because they're messing up my home, but I support their parents scolding them. However, their parents seem unwilling. She started complaining about how they don't spank their kids as we were when I told her they deserve a harsh punishment. I advised her to give her kids a tough talk and make them clean up their mess. My kids' behavior wasn't disciplinable, she remarked. She always asked, "What are you feeling that made you do that all done?" I recognized this conduct would not cease, so my husband and I ordered them to find a motel or go home. We wanted to have them spend a week, but the gentle parenting limited us to 2 days. I told her soft parenting will lead to a hard life and a nasty awakening, possibly jail time, for her children. She pushed back and lost it when I told her this hippy-dippy gentle parenting garbage is a hoax and will wreck your kids' lives, which I regret now but boiled over then. Now she won't talk to me, and our mom claims I'm wrong for kicking them out when they plan to stay longer. Am I jerky? Comment, or it would have worked better than violence and shouting. Parental, physical and verbal abuse, and dominance cause most persistent bad childhood behaviors. Edit. You parented their children gently. If they misbehave with the dog, take it away. You parented your sister gently. About borders. She seems to have none with her kids, which is worse than abuse. I never beat my kids. Instead of yell, I should have said raised voice to emphasize my argument. It's unrealistic to expect a child to always hear an extremely peaceful tone and then be able to handle a non-calm tone as an adult. Raising your voice is appropriate in some situations. You can disagree, but you're a monk. Update 1. I read comments. I don't think my sister's soft parenting is gentle. However, the truly soft parenting many of you describe seems bizarre to me, and I can't image it working on my kids. Yes, new parents are doing things differently. I'm not sure how that will affect society, but to each their own. The world is harsh. If someone yells at them or does anything else that gentle parenting doesn't involve, how will these youngsters handle life? Gentle parenting sounds fine in a paradise, but it's not realistic for me. I won't invite my sister around again if her kids are with her. If she ever speaks to me again. Even after this, I hope we can reconcile, because she's my sister. She can't handle her kids. Hello, commenter. Kind parent. It's not gentle parenting. No is okay in gentle parenting. Your unusual focus on gentle parenting instead of your sister's weird conduct makes me think this is phony. Gentle parenting is totally responsible for the breakdown of my beloved sister-sister connection, hence I'm so focused on it. I'm focused on my sister's behavior, yet her parenting style drives it. She changed entirely after adopting this parenting technique. Comment obviously, the dog issue. I'd be furious with your sister for not interfering, but all of the things you described are normal kid things at their age, and yelling at your sister and forcing them out after 2 days is a large reaction. Taking flowers and painting walls could harm your property. Quote, to inform you. Never have kids, I suppose. Yes, I have adult children. They didn't act like feral children, because they understood there would be consequences. Commenter, I'm glad so many people are defending gentle parenting. Op posts here to defend severe or physical punishments. The kids appear less important than the op or her sister. Both probably had op-like childhood punishments. One goes one way, the other another. Your relationship troubles could have been addressed differently. You're probably not going to ground themselves. Op, I told you my sister's kids damaged my home and abused my dog. I don't condone spanking, but they need to clean up and be held accountable. You concluded I'm a harsh mom. Update 2. Someone texted my sister my original post, or she read it on Reddit. She texted me a link to my piece and said she can't believe I'm posting our family turmoil. Since I posted it here, she's done ironing out our differences. Blocked me. Since she's reading this, I'll address her here since I can't call her. Allison, I love you and have always held our connection dear. But I can't make you change your mind. You should be proud of me discussing feelings. Since I'm done, here it is. You are relatives, but I won't let your kids act like they did in my house, especially pulling Bella's hair and hitting her face. It was animal mistreatment. It was all wrong, and I don't understand how you and Stephen let them act. I won't send you a fee for your kids' damage, as others have proposed. I'll pay for the repairs since I know this won't happen again, unless you radically change your parenting approach and eventually discipline your kids. You need to discipline them before it's too late and their future is gone, but not violently. I don't understand why you chose gentle parenting, but it's transformed you. You've changed and are offended by everything and don't like what others do. What happened is beyond me. Please read some of the comments on the original post to verify that 99% of people would have done what I did, and that I wasn't being harsh. You must punish bad behavior, or you are unkind to your children. Some comments offer wonderful parenting advice while others are cruel. But that's life, not gentle. Comments. Commenter, this bothers me. I recommend a chat. Her block prevents me from calling or texting her. What should I do? Message her by pigeon. Commenter, any mutual pals who can send messages. Don't engage our mutual contacts in this drama. Blocking me shows she doesn't want to chat. Update 3 Allison, a pseudonym, eventually contacted me. She reads some of the comments and realizes most people think her parenting choices disregard her kids. She requested my consent. I told her parenting style could change. She tried gentle parenting but realized she was wrong. I asked her future plans. She apologized and stated she and her husband have lost acquaintances because people don't want to be around her kids. This whole incident has woken her up, she remarked. Since gentle parenting didn't work for her kids, Allison will try something else. She promised retribution and consequences, but no corporal punishment. I said that's fantastic. She worries the kids won't like it and cause further issues. She'll have to adjust, I informed her. She said her spouse didn't agree with gentle parenting, which produced marital problems. Now, her spouse is glad she's accepting penalties and discipline for their kids. I assured her she's making a good choice. Her kids damaged my house and dog, but the fact that she's willing to adjust her parenting technique to prevent it makes me feel less upset. Allison gave me permission to post this update. We resolved issues. She's a decent person who made a parenting mistake. Edit, since this is my last update/article on this problem, wanted to address the permissive vs. gentle parenting debate several people raised. Every commenter seems to be saying that the kid does something wrong. The parent asks how they feel, then redirects them to an other work or activity, maybe telling them no, maybe not. General parenting includes redirection to a different task or activity as discipline or natural consequence. Since there is no penalty or consequence, such as lax parenting. I agree that my sister wasn't practicing basic parenting because she only talked about feelings and didn't redirect or say no. Permissive and gentle parenting sound similar, if not the same, after reading all the comments. If youngsters are told redirection is what happens when they do something wrong, they will be astonished and bewildered when there are genuine consequences and punishment. If they grow up and steal a car, the police will arrest them, throw them to jail, and fine them, which will shock them because all they wanted was to return the car to the owner and move on with their day. There were several relevant comments. I thought this reflected most comments' tone. Commenter. Genuine gentle parenting requires genuine consequences since this is my death hill. Natural consequences have repercussions. Like you mentioned, automobile theft gets you arrested. Actions have natural repercussions. Same with compassionate parenting. Kid throws toy at me. Since no one will hurl stuff at me, I'll put that toy up. My child doodles on walls. They'll clean or assist. Cleaning depends on age. They will buy toys with their own money to replace a sibling's broken toy. Redirecting helps young children before the brain can create connections. Redirecting is useful before repercussions are needed. Kid is frustrated but hasn't thrown anything, yet redirection isn't consequences. Both are essential for authentic parenting, kind or not. Anyway, I'm delighted you're trying. I wish her spouse, and your relationship with her the best. Up, downvoted. Your natural consequences sound more like returning a stolen car to its owner. Not jail. Proceed to the next tale. Story 2. We raised a young boy for 19 years, yet he refused to ask us to his wedding. Though the title seems odd, this was the best way to translate what was said. Must apologize for grammar and spelling errors. English is not my native tongue. My spouse is M40, I'm 44. Married 20 years, together 22, M24 is our adopted son. We're not black like him. Only stating this since it's crucial to the tale later. Nothing like this happens in the US. Please allow me to explain. About 19 years ago, my husband and I were driving on a highway after a short holiday and saw a little child sitting by the side of the road. There were no buildings around, only grass and hills. Since there was nothing for miles and no automobiles around the youngster, we stopped to check on him. Since Jason, the boy, was just wearing diapers, we could tell he was dirty and emaciated as we approached. He was discovered to be 5 despite his tiny size. He said Mother and Daddy put him here and instructed him to wait when we inquired why he was alone. Since there was no cell signal, we brought him back to town to the nearest police station. In summary, CPS was called. We realized his parents were drug addicts fleeing a felony. We felt horrible since Jason's grandmother was mentally ill and couldn't care for him. He was soon placed in foster care, but we felt awful for him and maintained in touch with his caseworker. We adopted Jason after a few months of negotiations with the caseworker, bureaucracy, and ourselves. I still have a very well-paying career and can afford a nice lifestyle for a small family. Now for the situation. Jason's parents were paroled 3 years ago. Soon later, they contacted him to reunite. They'd sent him a few strange letters before then, but nothing substantial. After being reluctant to talk to them, he met them for lunch one day. I felt jealous and worried about what could happen. But I could tell my son wanted to do it, so I buried those feelings and backed him. It was probably 3 months. He started to leave us. He was eager to talk to his biological parents after so long, I thought. Discuss his life, spend time with them, etc. I was annoyed when he'd cancel plans with us last minute because Mom had an emergency or Dad needed me to help him today, or whatever else. He used to see us once a week and call daily, but suddenly he hardly came by that month. I believed it was temporary again. That he was excited and will soon see us again. We were thrilled when he invited us to dinner one night. Our family, his bio parents, and his then girlfriend were planned to gather. I didn't want to meet the folks who left my son for dead on the road, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt, assuming they'd changed. Of course, we love our son. We had to attempt. Diner failure is an understatement. His biological mother was disrespectful to me and my husband all night. She constantly made passive-aggressive, homophobic, and racial remarks. His father was similar. It culminated when she yelled us the F word and threw a glass at my husband. We departed after a yelling match. The next day, Jason apologized profusely and pledged to never do that again. I asked him to understand that my husband and I did not want anything to do with them. He appeared to, but retreated for months. Hence last week's events. Jason proposed to his girlfriend 9 months ago and has been planning the wedding. Of course, we were thrilled for him. After several months, no invitation arrived. Jason would say they hadn't been sent out and divert the subject whenever we inquired. Last week, my husband noticed a Twitter post from Jason's groomsman, who went a few weeks back with the invitation. Jason broke the news to us the following time he came over that we hadn't been invited. When we questioned why, he replied his parents wouldn't let us come. Fucking furious. How could he pick trash above us? Why were they crucial? Why were we treated this way? His response: they know me better. They're my people. How could he do this? My spouse cried. I've only been truly angry a few times, and this moment outdid them. I kicked him out immediately, and told him never to return. He was no longer our son. I hugged and calmed my spouse all day. I canceled all wedding payments the next day, which included everything vital, even those we couldn't refund. Jason had the gall to phone and shout at me, asking how I did it. Where would he get replacements for a wedding in a few months? I told him I didn't care and suggested asking those 2 leeches you call parents for help. 19 years. 19 years of raising and loving my son, only to be treated like crap. For his excellent life we gave blood, sweat, and tears and all our love. We get that prize. Why am I asking whether I'm the A? Jason's friends and a few of our family members have been contacting and messaging us, calling us callous and monsters for what we did to him. That makes me wonder if I got too angry. Parents are meant to love unconditionally, right? However, how do we overcome this? We feel betrayed. How can we cope? Are we justified in feeling that? So AITA? I made a note to clarify some questions in my PM comments. If you have questions, see that. Edit 2. This post has many racist comments and I say fuck you. Put down that rhetoric. I am not grateful and would rather you leave.